For the next few weeks on this channel, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, shifting the focus from physics to film. You might remember the SSFX, or Space Sound Effects project, challenged independent filmmakers to incorporate real sounds from space, which I do research into creative short films. Now's the chance to find out how that process actually went. Now let's go over to Jesseca, Ynez, Simmons and Collin Susich, who were behind Dark Matters.
It's about a couple fish in a fish tank, but we tried to film it in a way that it doesn't look like they're in a fish tank. I originally shot and had this idea before really knowing what I would use as the sound design. And my basic premise was just filming some fish in a way that got rid of the boxed in enclosure. And when I realized, what's bigger than, being locked in a box? And I was just everything. So it made such sense to me to use sounds from space, or look into that, or what, because I also was just there's no sound in space, so I guess you'll just have to get creative. But then I learned that we could take from other sounds, and I just thought that a good way to integrate otherworldly places through the sound design. So although they're in, there was many fish tanks involved, and I tried to film them in a way that kind of looked maybe not look like space, but look like there wasn't any glass. I think the sound from space gives it that extra, push for them to break out of this cage, or for that dichotomy of inside versus outside to be transcended. And as soon as I figured out that I was going to use sound effects from space, I think the project became kind of full circle.
I used a lot of reverbs to soften them up. I did a little bit of slow panning. I shifted the pitch on the sound effects a couple times to kind of separate them. I shifted them down to make them a little deeper. There's this one part where there's a bunch of bubbles, and so he changed it so it could sound like bubbles. But basically the whole process was getting those soft enough to fit in the context of the film. There's no sound in space thing before, and I just loved your festival of going against that. And I feel like when I heard the sounds, it kind of went against my conception of what space would sound like. I thought it would be kind of droney, maybe like being submerged in water, which I don't know if that speaks to, or maybe I've just been editing their projects too long. But I thought that, I don't know, like I think that I was really just surprised to hear like such high pitches and such like fluctuation and like such movement and like activity, I guess. Like I thought it would have been more slow and like ethereal and lower pitched. And I don't even know where that conception came from, maybe from like Hollywood or something. Really very pleasantly surprised because I think it left more to play.
Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Something a little bit different from the usual. Physics videos will be returning very soon, so make sure if you've not already to subscribe and click on that notifications button so you don't miss out.